What's good, man?
Man, chilling. I am in a different part of the bluegrass than usual. I'm up in Louisville tonight,
Okay.
helping my lady move in a new condo and moving some things around, but enjoying the warm weather. I'm out on the balcony right now. It's feeling nice outside.
Yeah, I mean, we needed this weather after the
Oh,
winter storm we had about a month ago.
yeah.
So,
For
um,
sure, for sure, dude. Like we haven't gotten snow in such a long time, or at least snow like that. Then it just hit us all at once.
yeah, like pretty much most of the southern states got it, in Texas, and the gas prices went up. Usually I
Through the
don't.
roof.
Yeah, like it felt like the '90s or 2000, early 2000s or so or
Right,
something. But man.
right. Creeping back up to $3 a gallon.
Yeah, man, like something has to be done with that, but that's another subject for another time.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna say for another
so
day.
yeah, so me and Scotty, we've been friends for a couple years, and I tell this story all the time, especially when I talk to you. I met you
Yeah.
at a place called Cosmic Charlie's, and
Uh huh.
you was one of the opening acts for a local opening acts for an individual who is known for having the guts to put his number on his raps. You may know him
Yeah.
as Mike Jones, Mr. 281 through the 8004,
0-4.
and you were an opening act, and another friend, Jason, who was under the name Knowledge. He was
Knowledge,
there.
yes sir, yes sir.
He was there that night, so we clicked, man, and we've been cool ever since. As a matter of fact, it was not last year, but the year before that, you invited me to your
Yeah,
family's
we had
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
So,
Yeah, man, that was all. I was thinking about that earlier today, man, because
yeah,
we watched the Saints game. We watched
yeah,
the Saints Falcons game. You were telling me about growing up and being a Saints fan.
yeah, and that was some good times.
Oh, great
that
times,
that
great times.
was I think that was the game when the defender had an interception and then hit the stiff arm Matt Ryan. We literally saw that
Yeah,
live. I'm like, this really happened on Thanksgiving? I mean, it's not.
yeah, of all times.
Yeah, it's not as embarrassing as Mark Sanchez going through an offensive
Yeah, not as
lineman's
bad as the Buck
backside,
fumble,
but
but
still, like that's Thanksgiving game. That's a lot of people watching while eating the turkey, and that happened to you on the big stage.
you gotta
That's tough.
reevaluate. Man, it's crazy, and they just had Drew Brees retire now, so things are
Yeah,
gonna be a little different in New Orleans.
I'm glad you brought out that individual because I played the song "Pick Up"
Yeah,
before you called in. You name
nice.
dropped Drew and Sean Payton.
Yeah,
Um, and let's talk about the Colors EP that you put out recently. Um,
yes, yes.
so you being an artist and with this pandemic happening and musicians not being able to perform in front of a crowd for quite some time, what was that whole
Hmm.
process like as an artist? Just sitting, waiting, and wondering if and when you'll be able to get back to perform again, and what was it like recording the Colors EP?
Man, the process of that was amazing. I got to record with my friend John X Kennedy, and I think has been on the show previously too. But it was just awesome. Three of the songs on that EP, which was 5 tracks, were actually songs that I recorded in 2018. So some of those were songs that are pre-pandemic, and I think one of the hardest things as an artist, from performance to creation to all the aspects, is kind of deciding when to do things, when to release stuff. Um, the pandemic definitely made it harder for live performance. I did, I think, 2 shows last year, and it was really spread out. So I one at the beginning of the year, pre-pandemic, and then one in October. That was at an event called Open Arms. That was like a socially distanced festival, so I had kind of open spaces and things like that. But it's hard when you're wanting to perform and not having certainty on when you can do a show again or if people will be able to come or stuff like that. But I think, especially during a time like a pandemic, it reinforced the importance of something like music. You know, there's so many important things in the world, but to have something that's a true form of escapism and really lets you kind of step outside yourself, or even if you're inside your home, still escape to some degree, it's really powerful. That's what I try to create with in mind. So the last two songs of that Colors project were called Pick Up, as you mentioned, had played, and then Let Me Tell You Something, which is the final track. And I made the beat on that one. But those two were songs that actually came together in like May of last year, so May 2020. And those are kind of, indicative of my mindset in the moment and thinking about it because, when you're going through transition and stuff like that, a lot of times people aren't willing to wait out the process to see the other side. They just want to see the immediacy of the results. Like, well, why aren't you Drake already? Or why aren't you, Kendrick Lamar already? It's like, well, those individuals had a lot of time to develop their sound and develop their style and put all those things together. So you can't compare your journey to anybody else's. And that's what I kind of encourage all my other artist friends too during the pandemic was, even if you don't know when you may be able to perform these songs or what the purpose is for them, keep creating and keep following your heart because it's going to work out in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, definitely gave artists some time to just evaluate and just see where they at and where they want to go. And once it's time, once places started to reopen, then you probably get an idea of what you want to do. So,
Yeah.
Colors is the EP. It's out on all digital music platforms. Um, Enrique Jordan is the only featured artist on this EP.
Yeah.
So, Senorita, you got Tropicana, Stress No More, Pick Up, and let me tell you something. And
Yeah.
so, fast forward to now. You have been doing a show or two since things
Yeah.
started to reopen. You was recently at a show at the Fish Tank, which is formerly known
Yeah.
as Best Friends Bar. Best Friends Bar was one of the many places unfortunately closed its doors, but luckily
Mm-hmm.
somebody reopened that particular building under a different name. You was at there about a couple of weeks ago. What was it
Uh-huh.
like getting back on stage and just seeing how everything's unfold with the whole guidelines and everything? What is it like just at least getting back to perform?
Man, a blessing, honestly. And I can't say enough about that venue. Interestingly enough, the people that previously owned Cosmic Charlie's, where you and I had met in 2016, they repurchased Best Friend Bar. So they initially had been there, and they were in the Fish Tank, I think, in the early 2000s, and they renamed it to the Fish Tank. But my friend John Dose, who's on the show later tonight, he asked me to come out and play at that show, so that's how I was able to get on there. My friend Dustin, who goes by Han Solo, he played too. But it was awesome. The venue's still really, really cool, even though it's kind of like close quarters. Everybody's masked up. They have really good kind of acoustics and sound in there. And I got to play the new EP. I got to play a bunch of unreleased beats and a couple of older songs too, but just freestyling over the unreleased beats. And the feedback was incredible. I had a friend of mine who came up to me after the show and he had tears in his eyes and he gave me a hug. He said, "You're really going to make it, man." He's like, "You're going to make it." I was like, "Thanks, dude. I appreciate that." But it's incredible. And honestly, I think one of the best things about anything music related is the experience that's shared through music. And being at the venue again and seeing a lot of familiar faces and even people who kind of knew me in passing but didn't fully know me, it was an incredible blessing. And the feedback was great. It was really, really great. I look forward to doing a show there again or at another spot. But yeah, man, just unbelievable top to bottom. I can't say enough about John or Justin, all the staff there too. It was just an incredible time. But it actually ended up selling out when I started my set, so we had a full crowd in there, and it was really, really good.
That's definitely encouraging. Just the fact that you're getting back to perform, and because with local music, you kind of wonder if people are going to forget, what everything that's happening, and it's good to be on the stage and get that
Yeah.
reaction and such. So that's dope, man. And I've been listening to Colors for the past couple of
Thank you, Kenny.
weeks. This is definitely some of your best body of work. I definitely enjoy
Thank
it,
you.
and you know, pick up, man. That's on repeat for me. I'm
Heck
playing
yeah.
it heavily. Um, uh,
Thank you. I got a
so
video out for that too. So there's a video for that on YouTube. If you search Scotty Frys and pick up, just as one word. But yeah, that song is maybe my favorite, the most catchy one on there, and it's just very relatable because as I said, a lot of times you're working towards your goal, and people will not have the patience to see it to the end. They're like, "Well, you've not already achieved all this stuff that you're working so hard to do, so hit me up when it happens." It's like then when people see you succeeding and stuff going your way, whether it's coming out of the woodwork or a call from a friend you've not talked to in a minute, they're like, "Hey man, you're killing it. Let's collab on a song." Or let's I'm like, "Man, where was this like a year ago when I was building all these things up?" But that's the nature of life, and that applies to almost anything. Like I'm sure doing the radio show, you've had a friend who's like, "Oh, well, let me be your co-host." She's like, well, I'll consider it. I'll think about it. But there's a lot
yeah,
of things that go into any process, and I think people are so quick to just see the end result when they see other people that they don't know, a celebrity or somebody else, and they think that it's only the end result. There's no, struggling or kind of middle ground. And you have to experience those struggles in order to have context and appreciation for what you're going through.
yeah, it definitely is. I go back to the late Nipsey Hussle and what
Hey,
his
man,
mindset
RIP.
was. It was the marathon. He
Amen.
so it's look, he put in the work, put on mixtapes, had his store and with Crenshaw. He was
Yeah,
doing it his way.
unbelievable.
He didn't have nobody. He was his own boss too.
Hmm.
So he thrived off of that. Unfortunately, it's been a couple years since
It's
since we
crazy to even
lost
think it's
him.
been that long. Uh,
The funny thing about the crazy thing about it, not funny, but crazy thing is I found out about that ironically in Cosmos Charlie's.
yeah.
Not the old one, the previous one that just went out of business. I got to
Yeah, because it was on
see
a Sunday night.
Justina Valentine on
Nice.
for Nick Cannon Wilding Out that night, and she's doing her set. She informed that Nipsey Hussle was killed. I'm like, what? That can't be.
Mm.
Like,
I
man.
said the same thing. I sat in my car and cried. Literally, that hit me way different.
Yeah, so
Man,
rest in peace to
hey,
Nip. And
that was something that he said in the interview too. That was kind of near the end of his life, but he said something I think anybody could take. It's very powerful. He said, as you said, the marathon. His phrase is the marathon continues. But he said, you have to find a comfort zone in being uncomfortable. It's like only when you're okay having things not necessarily go your way or being kind of difficult and still working through those adversities will you actually start to progress. Because if you're doing stuff that you've not done before, it's supposed to feel kind of uncomfortable. It's supposed to be a challenge. And that's how you know you're raising your level because you're surpassing your own expectations and doing stuff you couldn't necessarily do previously. But that's because you embrace that removal of your comfort zone and you really just level up from that. But I heard that interview, and when I heard that, I was like, man, this man's spitting facts. It's so true. It doesn't matter what you're doing, If you're running outside and you've been running a 10-minute mile, like, you know what, I'm going to run even faster today. Only through you breaking through your comfort zone are you going to get that new level up.
yeah, comfort zone, that's definitely a thing. Like settling for where you're
Hmm.
at. But you gotta be able to evolve. To
Amen.
you gotta go through some struggles. This comes with the territory. It's you are always going to be tested when you face adversity. If you ain't facing adversity and you're not seeing the results, then you're going about it wrong. So you have to
Amen.
you have
Amen.
to you have to struggle. everybody, your favorite artists, entertainers, they've all been through some struggle one way or another before they're able to overcome that and see the success, see the end of the tunnel, I guess you could say.
Mhm.
Um, so everybody, please
Hey,
check out Colors from Scotty Frys. It's out.
yeah.
Check out the Pickup music video. It's on YouTube, and support this brother, man. He's still grinding. He's still doing his thing. He's at Louisville right now in this nice warm weather.
Yeah.
And before I let you go, man, what's
Yeah.
next for Scotty, man? You got more shows or
What's next? More
yeah.
shows, Jess. I should have a show, I think, in April or maybe May in Lexington. I'm gonna drop a single on 420. It's just kind of another track to come out, and I'm planning to drop at least like a new single, pretty much every month, a new single or a new video up until September. I'm gonna look to drop another EP, but just keeping the music coming and spreading the word and doing what I love to do. By the end of the year, I should have up to 100 songs, I think, released on my Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff like that. So the work is there and the feedback's been really good. I'm just going to continue to keep pushing it out and spread the positivity everywhere it can go, because Lord knows the world needs a little bit more light in it.
Yeah, with the vaccine out, man, it's there for anyone that wants it.
Mm-hmm.
And science is not my best subject as a kid,
Right.
but but I'm listening to him, Dr. Fauci.
Mm-hmm.
Look, regardless of what we feel, and regardless of what we've been through last year, these last 12 months, we have what we need to keep COVID-19 under control. So
Amen.
the choice is yours. I'm not trying to be a preacher. I'm not going to tell you what but just keep that in mind. Like, we
Hey,
feel
man,
like,
I signed up. I'm going to have mine next Thursday. I'm pretty sure with my sign up yesterday. But, yeah, that's what, I feel like everybody should always defer to expertise. It's like, if somebody's a scientist and has worked their whole life in this, I don't think everybody would be, blatantly lying to our face for no reason. I think they want things to get back more to kind of normal order of things and everybody being able to have mobility and stuff like that. Hey, rest in paradise to all the souls that we've lost in this pandemic, because it is an unbelievable time. It's almost hard to kind of process the totality of it all, but we got to take care of each other and protect each other, and that's going to take us through to the other side.
yes, indeed. You can go follow Scotty on Twitter and Instagram at Scotty Frys. And keep an eye
Yeah.
out. He's got more music on the way. He's got a show or two or more in the works
Yeah.
as well. Great chatting with you, Scotty. Great to catch up with you. And we'll see each other down the road. We'll see each other.
Oh, that's the bet we need to. Yeah, that's Scotty
Yeah.
with the Y and the Frys. So Scotty with the Y and then Fries.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
So
Kenny, I can't wait, man. I owe you lunch, and we'll have to get together for that. For real. It always warms my heart to hear your voice, man. Makes me smile.
good to hear from you too, man. You take care. You be safe out there.
Yes. You too, and to all the listeners out there, God bless you, and thank you so much. And keep staying tuned in with Kenny, man. We got a lot more to come.